Stop scrolling. Because if your birthday falls on one of these Scorpio dates, you're not just strong, you're wired differently. And once you hear this, you won't look at yourself the same way again. Scorpio, there's something people don't understand about you. They think your strength is obvious. Your intensity, your silence, your confidence. But your real power, it's hidden. It's in your memory, and your willpower. And if you're born on certain Scorpio dates, this power is on another level. You've probably noticed this yourself. You don't forget easily. Not words, not actions, not how someone made you feel. And it's not about holding grudges. It's deeper than that. It's awareness. You remember patterns. You remember energy. You remember truth, even when others try to hide it. And that's exactly why people underestimate you. Until it's too late. Birthdate breakdown. October 28th to October 31st. If you were born between these dates, you have one of the sharpest emotional memories. You don't just remember events. You remember intentions. You can feel when something is off, instantly. And your willpower. Once you decide something, there's no going back. People may think you've moved on, but internally, you're calculating your next move. November 3rd to November 6th. This group has a different kind of power. Your memory is strategic. You remember details others miss. You connect dots that no one else sees. And your willpower, it's quiet, but unstoppable. You don't need validation. You don't need noise. Once you lock in on a goal, you become it. November 11th to November 15th. If this is your birth range, you carry one of the strongest inner drives of all Scorpios. Your memory is tied to emotion and purpose. You remember pain, but you turn it into fuel. You remember failure, but you turn it into discipline. And your willpower, it's relentless. Even when you're tired, even when no one is watching, you keep going. November 18th to November 21st. This is the final Scorpio wave. And it's powerful in a different way. Your memory is selective, but precise. You don't hold on to everything. Only what truly matters. And your willpower, it's evolved. You don't chase anymore. You attract. You don't force things. You align with them. Scorpio, your memory isn't a burden. It's a weapon. It protects you. It teaches you. It shows you who's real, and who isn't. And your willpower, that's your superpower. Because when life gets hard, you don't collapse. You go silent. You go inward. And then you come back stronger. Reality check. Relatable pain. But let's be honest. Sometimes it feels heavy. Remembering everything. Feeling everything. Carrying everything. It can make you feel alone. Like no one truly gets you. Reassurance plus shift. But here's the truth. You weren't meant to be understood by everyone. You were meant to rise. And everything you've been through. Every moment you couldn't forget. Every time you had to stay strong. It's building a version of you that most people could never become. Future vision, motivation. Very soon, you're going to see why you had to be this strong. Why you had to remember everything. Why you couldn't give up. Because what's coming next in your life, it requires this level of power. Scorpio, if you're still here, this is where it gets real. Because your memory and your willpower, they're not just traits. They're the reason your life feels so intense. Hidden truth. Why you're different. Most people forget to move on. You remember to understand. And that changes everything. You don't just experience life. You analyze it. Every conversation. Every betrayal. Every moment that didn't sit right with your soul. You store it. Not out of weakness, but because your mind is built for depth, emotional conflict, relatable pain. But let's be honest, sometimes, your greatest strength feels like your biggest burden. You replay things in your head. You question what people really meant. You notice things others ignore. And it can make you feel different, isolated, like you're carrying a level of awareness that most people around you don't have. Power flip, turning pain into strength. But here's where everything changes. The moment you stop seeing your memory as pain and start seeing it as power. Because Scorpio, you don't repeat mistakes. You evolve. Every lesson you remember becomes a boundary. Every situation you survived becomes strength. Every time you didn't give up becomes proof of your willpower. Awakening moment, identity shift. Right now, you're stepping into a new version of yourself. One that doesn't ignore red flags, doesn't second-guess intuition, doesn't chase what isn't aligned. You're becoming sharper, more aware, more controlled, and people can feel that shift, even if you don't say a word. Willpower explained. Why you never quit. Let's talk about your willpower. Because it's not normal. Most people need motivation to keep going. You keep going even when you feel nothing. Even when you're tired. Even when no one supports you. Even when everything feels slow. You still don't quit. That's not discipline. That's identity. Letting go. Hard truth. And here's something you might need to hear. Not everything you remember deserves your energy. Not every person deserves your loyalty. Not every memory deserves your attention. Your power grows when you choose what to hold onto and what to release. Future shift. What's coming? You're entering a phase where your mind becomes your biggest asset. Your silence becomes your strategy. Your focus becomes your advantage. And the same people who once underestimated you, they won't understand how you became this strong. Scorpio, if you've made it this far, this message is meant for you. Because this is the part most people will never hear, or never understand, the truth about your power, your memory, and your willpower, aren't random traits, they're survival tools you had to build. Think about it. You didn't become this strong overnight. You became this way because you had to figure things out on your own. You had to read between the lines. You had to stay strong, even when no one checked on you. And that's why your strength feels different. It's not taught, it's earned. Deep emotional layer, pain acknowledgement. There were moments where you stayed silent instead of reacting. Where you walked away instead of begging. Where you held everything inside, just to keep moving forward. And no one saw that. No one truly understood how much strength that actually took. Identity lock, who you are becoming. But now, you're no longer that version of yourself. You're becoming someone who moves with intention, speaks less, but means more, sees everything, but reacts only when necessary. This is control. This is power. This is Scorpio at their highest level. Turning point. The shift. And here's the shift that changes everything. You're not trying to prove anything anymore. Not to people. Not to the past. Not even to yourself. Because deep down, you know who you are now. And that confidence, it doesn't need validation. Future vision. What's coming next? Very soon, your life is going to reflect this new version of you. Better opportunities, stronger boundaries, real connections, and a level of peace you've never felt before. Not because life suddenly got easier, but because you got stronger. Scorpio, listen carefully. Your memory taught you. Your pain shaped you. Your willpower carried you. And now, it's all coming together. You were never too much. You were just becoming someone the world can't ignore. If you're still watching, you're not here by accident. Go ahead and subscribe Cosmic Insight Daily. This content is made for you.